Yes. Hare Krishna devotees. So, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay. So, Hare Krishna devotees. So, I welcome you all today, 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that we are going to discuss the Dhyan Yoga. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Yes. So today we are going to discuss chapter number 6, Dhyan Yoga. Okay. So we already know that the yoga ladder, the basic is Karma Yoga, and above that is the Gyan Yoga, and above that is the Dhyan Yoga. So we are going to discuss today Dhyan Yoga, and above that of Dhyan Yoga is Bhakti Yoga. Okay. So we are going to discuss today Dhyan Yoga, or this is also called Ashtang Yoga. So Ashtang Yoga or Dhyan Yoga we are going to discuss today. So let's dive into the chapter. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shlakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manoabhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitam Cha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the teachings is based on the teachings of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He is founder Acharya of ISKCON, and we pay our humble obeisances unto His lotus feet and beg for His mercy so that His teachings of Bhagavad Gita we can learn and apply in our life. Okay, so let's summarize all the chapters. First chapter we have seen observing the army by Arjuna. Okay, then the 5 reasons for not fighting, and at lastly he told 5 reasons for not fighting. Then second chapter started with Guru, the 3 phases of realization and importance of Guru. Then Krishna is giving the knowledge about the body and the soul, and the to the dharma related to the body and soul. Okay, and the last part was how to become an Atmaram, what is the symptoms of the Atmaram, that thing we have discussed in the last part. Third chapter, Karma Yoga. Okay, so we have discussed the Karma Yoga, the different phases or different rungs on the yoga ladder and the elevator. Okay, that we have learned. Okay, so the same confusion was there. Action is better, renunciation is better. So Krishna tells that action in devotion is always better than renunciation. Okay, so that we have seen in third chapter. Fourth chapter, glorified Krishna glorified Jnana. Okay, and Krishna explained his position. Okay, so that is was the thing. So Arjuna asked the question, how the sun god Vivaswan is many older than many days older. How can I understand that you have given this knowledge? Then Krishna explained his position, how his position is transcendental, how his birth is transcendental, how his activities are transcendental. These are not material things, these are transcendental. Okay, And why does he appears, what work he does, okay, when he appears, everything Krishna explains that, okay. So that was the position of Krishna, okay. Then some myths were there, so we have learned about those myths, about then the how to take transcendental knowledge. Vidhi pranipatna prashnena seva, surrender to a spiritual master, inquire from him, and serve him. Okay, so that we have learned in the glorification of jnana and process of transcendental knowledge. Again, the same confusion was there. Action is better, renunciation is better. So Krishna tells in the last chapter that action in devotion is always better than the renunciation. Okay, so it's Prabhuji, you are lagging. Is everything okay?
Prabhu, your
Is
voice
everything
is
okay?
getting little delayed. Voice is not coming.
Okay. Voice is having any problem? So, with Arjuna, okay. So it's better in always. Devotion is always
Prabhu,
better.
voice is not coming properly. Hare Krishna.
Is it okay now? Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, now it's better.
Okay. So it started with Arjuna's doubt. So Arjuna asked one question: which one is better? Action is better or renunciation is better? Please clarify once again. So Krishna tells action is a better than the renunciation. Okay. So that Krishna clarify again. Then the Krishna gave the example of Padma Patra. Okay, how the Padma Patra it grows in water, it stays in water, but still it is unattached to the water. So a person who is Krishna conscious, though he is working in the material world, he is unattached to the material world. Okay, so Krishna gave very nice example. Then action, knowledge of the three doers. So three doers, who are the three doers? One is the soul. Okay, soul. What soul does? Soul does is desire. Okay. Then the second is so one is soul, one is super soul. What super soul does is sanctioner. He will sanction. Okay. So how he sanctions? Based on whatever past karma we have done and whatever desires we have. If desire suits that past karma, then that desire will be fulfilled. And who will carry out the desire? The material nature. So these were the knowledge of three doers: the soul, super soul, and the third one is the material nature. Then the equal vision. How one can develop equal vision? When one sees that everyone is equal. When we see outside every person, we see that every person is different. Okay, we see that this person is different, this person is different, because no one is equal. If you see outside, so some people will be fair, some people will be black, some people will be tall, some people will be small heighted. Okay, so if you see, every person will be unequal if you see outside. But a person who is actually seer, a person who sees the truth, he will see that everyone is equal. How? Because Paramatma is there inside everyone's heart, because super soul is there inside everyone's heart. Okay, so that is the equal vision. And what is the peace formula? So peace formula, last class we have discussed that a person who knows that Krishna is the ultimate benefactor of all the people, all the living entity, not only the people, even the living entity, all the living entity. So Krishna is the benefactor of all the living entity. Krishna is the ultimate bhokta of all the yajna and tapasham. Okay, one who knows this, he knows that there is one common origin. Okay, one common parenthood. So one parenthood is there, then that can cause peace. Okay, so that we have discussed in the last class, the peace formula. Okay, so let's move to today's class. So today class, we are going to discuss about the Dhyan Yoga. Dhyan Yoga, or This is called Ashtanga Yoga. So Ashtanga Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, both are same. Okay. So chapter name you can see here as well as here, Dhyana Yoga. Okay. So let's see. So first we are going to see friend or enemy. Okay. So mind is our friend or mind is our enemy. So that we are going to discuss first part. Okay. Enemy or friend. Second part, we are going to discuss about the Ashtanga Yoga, the eightfold yoga system which Krishna discussed. The third, we are going to see success or failure. What happened to a person who follow this spiritual path and he fails? What happened to that person? Success or failure? And last part, we are going to see who is the perfect yogi. Who is the perfect yogi? So out of all the yoga, who is the perfect yoga? Which one is the perfect yoga? So that we are going to discuss in today's chapter. The first portion that about the mind. Mind is our friend or enemy. Okay. So let's discuss that part. Very interesting. That part is our mind friend or enemy? Okay. So what do you think? Mind is our friend or enemy? Okay. Let me discuss this slide first. Okay. Let's see what you think about this. Whether mind is our friend or enemy, then we'll discuss this part. What do you think? Mind is our friend or enemy? What do you think? Your answers in the chat box. Yes, please. Okay, we are getting the answers. Shraddha Mataji saying both. Vamma Mataji saying friend. Vidya Mataji both. Badresh Prabhu, it can be both. HG Gupta, friend. Pooja Mataji both. Biswas both. Dolon, it depends on us. Enemy number one. Subham Mandal Prabhuji saying enemy number one. Alka, friend if controlled. Both, it depends. Both. So most of them are saying both. Some are saying friend. Some are saying enemy number one. So it can be friend number one as well as enemy number one. Yes, that is correct. So Padmaja Mataji or Prabhuji saying both. If you can control our mind, could be best friend. Yes. So let's see what Krishna says. So let's go to the chapter. So before practicing Ashtanga Yoga, as stated in verse number 5.27 and 5.28, one must become purified by Niskam Karma Yoga. Actually, when we were discussing the fifth chapter, there were two slokas which discussed the Ashtanga Yoga, and that was only the starting of the Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, and in that two sloka, it was discussed that one must become purified by Niskam Karma Yoga to perform the Ashtanga Yoga. So before practicing Ashtanga Yoga, one must be purified. How can be purified? By Nishkam Karma Yoga. So the basic stage of yoga. So when one does the basic stage of yoga, he can move to the upper part. Okay. So Ashtanga Yoga without purification is very difficult, because Ashtanga Yoga means a person is meditating on the Supreme. He's sitting at one place and he's trying to meditate. And it is impossible to meditate if you are not purified. Without purification, your mind will be traveling here and there. Okay. And it won't be focused on one place. So purification is very important. How can we one purified? The basic stage of yoga. What is the basic stage of yoga, which we discuss in the third chapter, which discuss in the fifth chapter? Nishkam Karma Yoga. So when we do Nishkam Karma Yoga, we can be purified. So that is the basic requirement. Second, one must be in full control of mind and senses. If mind and senses are not in control, you cannot perform Ashtanga Yoga. You have to sit for many days. Your mind is not in control. Your mind can take away anywhere. Okay. So full control of mind and senses. One must be completely indifferent and unaffected by all material things. Unaffected by material things. Okay. Then only we can perform Ashtanga Yoga. So requirements are very difficult to fulfill. Okay. So requirements are very difficult to fulfill. So let's see what is discussed in this chapter. Then we'll see what Arjuna says. Okay. So first, what is yoga? What is the meaning of yoga? Let's see. Okay. So this person, you see this picture. This person is doing something. Okay. Is this something a yoga or not? Yes or no? Answer in your chat box. Simple question. Yes or no? Answer should be yes or no. Is it yoga? Yes or no? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Is it yoga or not? Shraddha Mata is saying Hatha Yoga. Other person, yes, no, yes, no. Okay. Yes, it is part of yoga. Yoga means union. Yes. So this is not in yoga. Answer is not in yoga. Why? I already told you. Yoga means union, connection with the Supreme. Where is Supreme here? Okay. A person who is always in connection with a yogi. Yogi means he is always with a person who is always in connection with the Supreme. That person is called a yogi. This person is doing just an exercise. Okay. That is not in yoga. Where is Krishna here? Where is Supreme here? No. So there is no Supreme. This is just an exercise, not anything more. Hatha Yoga? No. Hatha Yoga also meant to connect to Supreme. If there is no Supreme, that is not in yoga. Okay. This picture you see. This person is very mystic. Okay. He is putting his head inside. How he's breathing, we don't know. Okay. Very difficult. And his hand and the legs are out and he's doing something. Is it yoga? Yes or no? So one answer we have yes, others answers no. Okay. Two answers yes, others no. Three answers yes. Okay. Yes are increasing now. Yes, anyone who is trying to vote in favor of yes, very less yes people, yes devotees are there. Yes, few more yes are there. So at least 6, 7 yes are there. Many people are there, 39, 30, 38, 39 people. Yes, please, everyone answered. Yes or no? Yes, people are becoming very less. No, people are more. So anyone who's saying yes? So most of the people are saying no, and the answer is also no. Where is Supreme here? Okay, this is mystic. Okay, this is mystic. There is no Supreme here. You see this? What is this? Some cloth. What is this? Some people are throwing coins here. Okay, what is this? Some time of paladai or katora. Okay, where the people will put some money and they will go. Okay, so this person is doing some mysticism, showing some mystic, and he is trying to accumulate money. Okay, nothing else. This is not in yoga. There is no Supreme in this picture. Okay, if Supreme is there, then we can say as yoga. This one. This person is trying to do something. He has Ganesh ji here, Lakshmi ji here, something. Some more pictures are there. He is trying to do something. Is it yoga or not? This picture number 1. Yes. Yes or no? So we have answer as no. No. Everyone is saying no. Anyone? Yes. Anyone? Yes. David Singh Hijam, David Singh Hijam. It is Hatha Yoga. Okay, Hatha Yoga. One answer is Hatha Yoga. Okay. No. Answer is no. Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga means Hatha Yoga is type of practice where the person will be doing Hatha Yoga and he will connect with the Supreme. If there is no connection, that is also not a Hatha Yoga. Okay. This is just an exercise, nothing else. Okay. This is just an exercise to maybe to build bodybuilding something, no? So like that. Now this one, very interesting. This person is sitting at some seashore or maybe Ganga Ghat. Okay, he is trying to do something. He is in pranam mudra also. There is sun also in the back. Okay, now it is yoga or not? Is it yoga or not? Yes. Let's see how much you have understood. It is yoga or not? So Manisha Mata is saying yes. Dolan Prabhuji is saying not at all. No. Yes, please answer yes or no. Vamma Mata is saying yes. Only 2 yeses are there. Only 2, 3 yes. Okay, 3 yeses are there. Yes, 3 people are saying yes. Others are saying no. Other people, yes or no? Please, quickly. Yes or no? Others are saying no. Only 3 yes. Okay. Okay. So yes, everyone is saying no. Most of you are saying no. And this is not an yoga. Okay. There is no supreme. It is also maybe a mudra of maybe asan. That can be called as some asan, some position, not an yoga, because there is no supreme. There is no, this is not an yoga. Okay. So let's see more. This one, these people are doing something, and in the name of yoga, they are drinking alcohol. They may call it as sharabi yoga, or alcohol yoga. Okay. So before my asking, everyone is saying no. Yes, it is no. It is big no. It is not in yoga. There is no supreme. Okay. No supreme connection. This is a sharab yoga. People may call. They will outside board sharab yoga. Come and do sharab yoga. Okay. But this is not in yoga. This one. This girl is sitting. This a bakra is there. A goat is there. Bakra is sitting on one lady. Okay. Lady is laughing. Bakra is also laughing. Okay. Both are laughing, and they call it bakra yoga. Is it yoga or not? Is it yoga or not? Yes or no? They will call it bakra yoga. Huh? Yes or no? No, it is not an yoga. Okay. This girl is, see, the girl is laughing. She knows that this is not an yoga, just an exercise. Okay. This one, people doing chair yoga. They call it chair yoga. Is it yoga or not? Yes or no? Now now the devotees become smart. Now you are perfectly answering. No, it is not in yoga. So you will find many type of advertisement of yoga. This is yoga, 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 yoga. Yoga simply means connection with the Supreme. Yoga means plus, connecting the Atma with Paramatma. Okay, connection of Atma with Paramatma, soul with super soul. That is called yoga. If in the picture there is no Supreme, that is not in yoga. Okay. So you see many people, you will find many advertisement. Okay. Yoga is very famous word now. So people, they will sell their product in the name of yoga. Chair yoga, dancing chair yoga, yoga for cat junk, yoga for cats means, okay. Yoga for pregnancy, exercise. That means basically the exercise for pregnancy. The yoga for physical and mental health, only exercise. Okay. So in the name of exercise, they are giving many things. Yoga for wellness, back care yoga, desktop yoga, yoga secret for business success. Yoga, tennis yoga. You see, from tennis, he is doing yoga. Okay. Yoga office. In office, how can you do yoga? Yoga for weight loss and you. Okay. So they will say different types, but they are actually not yoga. They are just exercise to shape the body. What is yoga then? So yoga we have already discussed. Linking oneself with the Supreme. If linking is there with the Supreme, that is called yoga. Other than that, that is, if there is no Supreme, that is not an yoga. Okay. So that is the thing. So you see different type of yoga we have learned in third chapter, the Karma yoga, the Gyan yoga, the Dhyan yoga, and the Bhakti yoga. Okay. So Karma yoga, then the Gyan yoga, then the Dhyan yoga, and finally the Bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is called elevator. Whether you do Gyan yoga, Dhyan yoga, Karma yoga, any yoga, finally you will come to this platform that the Supreme, Krishna is the Supreme, and we have to love him. Okay, we have to dedicate our soul to the Supreme and we have to love him. Okay, so that is the final step, Bhakti yoga. Okay. So then what is Ashtanga yoga or Dhyan yoga? So let's discuss today's chapter, the Ashtanga yoga and Dhyan yoga. Okay, so let's discuss. So actually Ashtanga yoga or Dhyan yoga means Ashtanga yoga. Asht means 8, Anga means limb, and yoga means connection. So 8 limb connection. So these are the 8 limbs. You can see in the picture. These are the 8 limbs of the Ashtanga yoga Paddhati. Okay. So what are these 8 limbs? Let's discuss one by one and try to understand what is there. So first is yam. Yam means external discipline. What I should not, what I should do, where I should go, how I should be, how the environment should be there. Okay, these are called external discipline, yamas. Okay, so external discipline, we should find a ideal place to do yama. Okay, so that is called yama or do's, what we have to do. Then comes the niyam. Niyam is internal discipline. Don't. We should not eat too much. We should not sleep too much. We should not have recreation too much. We should not be doing this too much, that too much. So that are called niyams. So some certain rules and regulations are there. Don'ts are there. We should not do. That is called niyam. Niyam means rules. Okay. So we should do. We should not do these things. See, these are the don'ts. So these are the do's. These are the don'ts for doing the Ashtanga yoga. So yam and niyam. Then comes the asana. Asana means sitting posture, meditating posture. Okay. So how should should be sitting? Where he should be focusing? How the eye should be there? How the neck should be there? How he should be sitting? Okay. The posture. How should be the posture? So that comes in the asana. Okay. So that is the asana part. Then the pranayama, breathing. Breathing also we should control. The breathing, the ingoing breathing, the outgoing breathing, how we should control, how we should stop that breathing. Okay, so these are coming under the pranayam. Then comes the pratyahara. Pratyahara means withdrawal of the senses, withdrawal of the senses. Don't engage your senses outside. Just withdraw your senses, concentrate inside. Okay, fully concentrate the senses inside. Don't allow the senses to go out and sense pleasure. Don't engage it in sense pleasure. That is called pratyahara. Okay, so these pratyahara. Then comes the dharana. Dharana means concentration. So try to concentrate. Okay, concentrate. Then dhyan. The concentration is increasing. That is called dhyana, meditative absorption. So now the person is getting absorbed in meditation. Okay, so the dharana, dhyan. Then final stage is called samadhi, completely absorbed in the Paramatma, inside the Paramatma, complete union. So that is called final stage of Ashtanga Yoga. That is samadhi. The person is in samadhi. Samadhi means he is completely absorbed with the Paramatma. He is completely united with the Paramatma. Okay, so that is called the samadhi stage. So these are the 8 stages or the eight limbs of the Ashtanga Yoga. And you see, every step is very difficult. Yamas are very difficult to find. Niyamas are very difficult to perform. Asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dhyana, dharana, samadhi, every limb is very difficult to perform. Okay. It was meant for the Sat Yuga. If you remember, when I was discussing what are the ways to perfect your life in different yuga. So Sat Yuga were the meditative absorption. Okay, and this Ashtanga Yoga was meant for that age. Okay, because people were so pure at that time, so sattvic people, purified life they used to live, and they can meditate for thousands and thousands of years. Okay, so at that time it was meant, but these days very difficult to perform. Where 5 minutes, if you want to sit, very difficult. Okay, very difficult to sit even for 5 minutes and absorb and completely absorb yourself, withdraw the senses in one place. Okay, so it is very difficult these days. So let's see how Krishna is discussing. So enemy or friend, the first part we are going to discuss whether friend is our mind is our friend or enemy. Okay, so let's see. Okay. उद्धारेद आत्मनात्मानं नात्मनाम अवसादयेत आत्मैव आत्मनो बंधुर आत्मैव रिपुर आत्मनः atmana. So 2 meanings are there of atma. One is called the mind and one is called soul. So both meaning are there in one word, atma. Okay, so one must deliver himself with the help of his atma. Uddhar means deliverance. So mind can deliver one. Okay, so mind can deliver one, uddhar, and it can also avsadayit, and it can also degrade the mind, can also degrade the person. So one must deliver himself with the help of mind and not degrade himself. Mind can degrade also, mind can deliver also. One must deliver himself with the help of mind, not degrade himself. Mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. Mind is the friend as well as enemy. Okay, so that is the thing. Mind can be your best friend, mind can be your best enemy. I remember one example, one story in this regard. Okay, so I'll tell you the story. Okay, it's a very interesting story. I was reading in one of the book. Okay, Prabhupada used to tell. I think Prabhupada or Prabhupada disciple used to tell. So this story is of a person. Okay, so he was a king. Okay, and he went to jungle one day. Okay, and he found one chirag. Okay, so Aladdin ka chirag, like that, something is there. So he rubbed the chirag, rubbed the chirag, and there was a jinn. Okay, there was a jinn which came out from the chirag. Okay, so now the jinn is there in front of the king. So he's asking, so you are my master. Okay, please accept me as your servant. But there is one condition. There is one condition, that you should always keep me engaged. Otherwise, I will kill you. Okay, and I can do anything which you want. Anything which you want. Okay, if you want to me to do anything, I can do anything for you. But thing is, you should always keep me engaged. Otherwise, I will kill you. Okay. So the king thought, okay, this is a very powerful jinn. Okay. So he can do anything for me. So there are so many work in my state. Okay, I am the king. So many works are there. So what I will do is, I will give the works to the jinn, and he will be doing, and he will be engaged. If one work he will finish, I will give him another work. Okay, so in this way, I will keep him engaged. Okay, so like that he thought, and he accepted. Okay, I'll accept your service. Okay, like that. So jinn accepted. Jinn became his servant. Okay, now first instruction he asked. Okay, give me instruction now. Okay, so the king said, okay, take me to my kingdom. Jinn quickly took him to his kingdom. In 2 seconds, he was in kingdom. He was in his kingdom. Okay. So now the king is thinking, okay, this is very fast. So I was thinking he will be very slow, but he is very fast. So what I will do? Okay. So build build a mahal for me, a palace for me. Okay. So Jinn quickly left, and in half an hour, a mahal, a palace is ready. Okay, so now now the king is thinking, okay, I must give him another service then. So he started giving one service, one service, and in 2 days every service is over. He doesn't have any work now. Okay, so he's thinking, what I will do. He was getting now fearful, because if jinn comes, he will kill, because there is no work left for the jinn. So quickly he called the learned Brahmana, the Rishi Munis from his kingdom. Okay, and he told his condition to him. Okay, so the Rishi Muni suggested. Okay, the learned person suggested that let me advise you something. Okay, so what he did is, he took a wood, a piece of wood, and he placed on the ground. Okay, and in a standing position like this, he placed on the ground like this. Okay, so there was ground, and it was erected. The wood was erected like this. Okay, so now the jinn came. Okay, then when the jinn came, so the jinn returned from his work, and Rishi Munis were there. So Rishi Muni said, now ask the jinn to circumambulate this this wood from up to down, up to down, up to down. Okay, like that. So the king ordered the jinn that you should circumambulate up down, up down. You should do the up down for the in the wood. Okay, so jinn started doing up down, up down, up down. He started he is continuing now. Okay, like that. So the king is very happy that jinn is also engaged, and whenever if there is any work, he will call the jinn. He will finish the work, then he will again order him to do up down, like that. Okay, so he'll be circumambulating the wood, and the king is also happy, and the jinn is also happy, because he is engaged, he's doing some work. Okay, he's not empty. Okay, so like that. So this was a story. So the same thing applies to our mind also. Okay, same thing applies to our mind also. Mind can be our best friend. It can do wonders. Everything it can do. It can do udhar. You see the udhar. It can do udhar. Every work can be done. Okay. Udhar means The purpose of life can be solved through this mind. Okay. But if you are incorrectly engaging, or if you are not engaging your mind, then mind can degrade yourself. Degrade yourself. So what is the best way to absorb the mind in correct thing? Chanting. Okay. Chanting. Keep chanting. Okay. Whenever work is there, you do the work. And whenever you are free, engage your mind in the chanting. Otherwise, it will degrade yourself. Okay. It will degrade you. Okay. So that is a story I remember. I thought the king will tell the jinn to straighten a dog's tail. Okay. So that is the thing. So he was doing the circumambulation of the wood, and the jinn is engaged. And whenever there is work, the king would call the jinn and he will do the work like that. So we should, our mind is also like that. Okay. If we are not engaging the mind in correct thing, mind will degrade ourselves. Okay. Mind is very powerful, very powerful. Okay. So better to engage it in the chanting process. Chant the holy name and engage it in the Supreme Lord. Okay. So that is the thing. So mind, if it is controlled, it is your best friend. If it is not controlled, then it will be your greatest enemy. Okay, very correct. Krishna advised to us, Bandhur atmanastasya yena atmaiva atmana jitaha anatmanastu satrutve vartetatmaetva satruvat. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of the friends. But one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. If you control the mind, your mind is best of the friend. But if you have failed to do so, your mind will remain the greatest enemy. If you can control the jinn, if you can give the service to the jinn, then the jinn is the best friend. Jinn is nothing but the mind. Okay, our mind is jinn. Okay, and if you are not engaging, it will be best of the enemy number one of the person who told in the chat box, he is the enemy number one. Yes, it is the enemy number one if it is not controlled, and it is the best friend also if it is controlled. Okay, so that is the thing. But how the mind can be controlled? I already told you, chanting process. There ABCD process, you already know. Out of that, keep your mind engaged in the chanting process. Okay, so let's see how the mind, mechanism of mind, work of mind. Okay, let's see how our mind works. Okay, so already we know this hierarchy, that senses are there. Above the senses is the mind, above the mind the intelligence, and above the intelligence is the soul. Okay, so let's see. First is the senses. So 5 senses we have: eye, nose, tongue, ear, and skin. So these are the 5 senses. What are these 5 senses? They will interact with object of the senses. Like eyes are there, so there must be some form. Nose is there, so some smell is there. So they will be engaging in those things. Okay, so the senses work is to interact with the sense of the object and collect the information. Okay, from that. So that is the thing. So a collection of the information from the senses we do, and then what we do, we give it to mind. Mind is higher than the senses. Then mind, what it does? Storehouse of the thoughts. So it will store the thought, what are the thoughts we have, and unfulfilled desires. And when the desire is fulfilled, then previous experiences. So previous experiences which is there in the mind, unfulfilled desires are there in the mind, thoughts are there in the mind. So mind is a storehouse of these things. Okay, and above that is the intelligence. Intelligence will tell you, no, this is the correct one, this is not correct, you should do this, you should not do this. This one is good, this you should do. This one is not good, you should not do. Okay, like that. Senses will say, okay, this food seems to be very tasty. Intelligence will say, no, this food, though it is very tasty, it is dangerous for your health. Okay, if you eat regularly, it will cause dangerous diseases in you. Okay, so better avoid it. Okay, so that is the senses work. So sense will say, intelligence will say that don't eat it. Okay, this is not good for your health. Senses will say, no, it is very tasty, we should eat it. Okay, now the mind. If your intelligence is sharp enough, your mind will be under control of the intelligence. Okay, then it will listen. Okay, this food is, though it is looking very tasty, very tempting, but this is not good for my health, I should not eat it. Okay, if the intelligence sharpen, if your intelligence is sharp, then mind will listen to it. If your intelligence is not sharp, then what mind will do is, It will be listening to the senses. Senses will say, okay, this food is very tempting, very nice. Okay. Very nice smell is coming out of the food. Okay. So we'll eat it. Daily we'll eat it. Okay. And then our health will deteriorate. So that is the thing. So mind can be under control of the intelligence, or mind can be controlled by the senses. Okay. If so, the thing is, our intelligence should be sharp enough. Okay. What things should we do? What things we should not do? How to sharpen that intelligence then? How we can sharpen that intelligence? The answer is same, ABCD. Okay. ABCD. When we associate with the devotee, we know what is correct, what is not correct. Okay, we are not this body, we are soul. Continuously we'll be reminding ourselves that we are not this body, we are soul. Association. Okay. B, book reading. When we read Shastra, when we read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, then we understand this is correct, this is not correct, what we should do, what we should not do. Regularly read the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and sharpen your intelligence. C, for chanting. Chanting is the purificatory process. When we chant, we associate with the Lord's name. Okay. And when we associate with the Lord, then purification happens. So chanting purify persons. Okay. And D is for diet. We'll tell the diet later. Okay. So that is the thing. ABCD. Sharpen your intelligence. Okay. So that was the friend or enemy, the mind part. So that was the thing. Okay. Now Ashtanga Yoga, the 8 Paddhati Yoga system we are going to discuss now. Okay. So 8 Paddhatis are there. So first is Yama. Okay. Yama means, I already told you, the don'ts which we don't do. The do's. Okay. The Yama. So he should live in a secluded place. What he should do? How he should perform the Ashtanga Yoga? He should live in a secluded place. Should always carefully control his mind. Control the mind, live in a secluded place where no one is coming. Okay. Sit at the place, then do the Ashtanga Yoga. So Yama means what we should do. Niyama means what we should not do. Niyams are rules. Regulate his eating, habit of eating, sleeping, working, and recreation. He should not eat too much. He should not eat too less. He should not sleep too much. He should not sleep too less. Working, recreations, all things should be balanced. Okay. So that is Niyam. What we should do, what we should not do. That comes under Niyam. Then Asan. How we should be sitting and doing the Asan. So lay kusha grass on the ground. So kusha grass is special type of grass is there. And then cover it with a deer skin. So deer, so if you are in jungle, there will be many deers who will be killed. You don't have to kill the deer to get a deer skin. Okay. So there are many deers, they will be killed. Okay. So deer skin you can find easily in the jungle. So you can put kusha grass and cover it with deer skin. What the deer skin will do? It will repel the snakes and a small insect will be there. They won't come near you when you are engaged in the sadhana. Okay. So the seat should be neither too high nor too low and should be situated in a sacred place. The place should be sacred. One should hold one's body, neck, and head erect in a straight line. So your body, neck, and head. So body, neck, and head all should be erect in a straight line. Like this, you should be sitting. Okay. And stare steadily at the tip of the nose. So you should be staring at the tip of the nose like this. Okay. So always this is the asana like that. Thus, with an unagitated mind. So this was the external. Internally, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, one should meditate upon me. So this is the asana part. Then pranayam. Okay, asana path, how we should sit and how should we meditate. Pranayam, practice stopping the movement of outgoing breath into the incoming and incoming breath into the outgoing, and thus at last remain in the trance. Control your breath, incoming into outgoing, outgoing into incoming, and finally stop the breath and remain in trance. Okay, so that is the practice pranayam. Pratyahara. Withdrawal of the senses means cessation of material existence. Withdrawal of the senses. Your senses should not be engaged outside. Your senses should be fully controlled. That is called pratyahara. Then dharana. Disciplines his mental activities and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires. He is said to have attained yoga. Dharan. Okay. He's concentrating the mind. Mental activity he is controlling and he is concentrating. Then dhyana. So dhyan, he is now controlling is as like the lamp. Okay, so if you place a lamp, the deepak, in a windless place, it won't waver. Okay, it won't waver like this and this. It will be very steady. So your mind should be like this. Okay, steady. Okay, so Krishna gives an example. As a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so that the transcendentalist whose mind is controlled remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendental self. Okay, so dharana, dhyana, then samadhi, last part. One is never shaken. So samadhi is the full absorption in the supreme. Okay, he is fully absorbed in meditation with the supreme insight, the Paramatma form. One is never shaken, even in the midst of greatest difficulty. Even the greatest difficulty is coming, he's not shaken in that. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. He's not in material plane now, he's inside. Okay, so that is the 8 stages of the Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, so till now we have seen the Ashtanga Yoga is very difficult. Let's see how Arjuna responds to the Ashtanga Yoga. So before that, let's summarize the yoga ladder which we have seen earlier. Okay, where we are falling. Okay, so first is animal life. A person who is directly under the control of senses is called animal life. Animal cannot control the senses. Whatever senses say, the animal will go, and if senses say, okay, we should eat it, he will go and eat. Even the person hit, he will again go and eat. Okay, whatever you do, he will go and eat because he is under the control of senses. Intelligence not developed. Okay, karma kanda. So when a person is fully under the control of senses, that is the animal life. Okay, though he is in human form of body, but he is in animal life. Karma kanda, that is called regulated sense gratification. A person who is doing the bad activity, he cannot be suddenly changed to a normal to the yoga system. So what is the there is missing link, there is connecting link, that is called karma kanda. Means regulated sense gratification. Okay, you want to do sense gratification. Okay, Monday you should not eat this. Okay, if a person is eating like something like non-veg. Okay, so okay, you are eating, you want to eat non-veg, so Monday you should not eat, or Tuesday you should not eat, or there should be regulation. Not free is not, it is not free, freely you cannot eat, so there will be regulation. Okay, there is rule. If you want to eat, there is this rule, that rule. Okay, like that. So that is called regulated sense gratification, or that is called karma kanda, something higher than animal life. In that life, the person is seeing or seeking someone. He is under the guidance of some. Okay, so but that is not yoga, because he is completely doing the sense gratification only, but regulated way. So if he is doing regulated sense gratification, gradually he will come to the third stage, that is called Nishkam Karma Yoga. Nishkam Karma Yoga, the person gradually will see that, okay, we are working, but we should work for others also. Okay, we should work for others also. We should take care of others also. These are other living entities are there. So okay, so we should be compassionate towards them also. So we'll be so they will be doing the work, and they will be renouncing the fruits. Okay, renouncing the food, that is called Nishkam Karma Yoga, renouncing the fruits of one labor. So we have already discussed all the things, just we are refreshing, because all the yoga we have seen. So thus we are seeing where we are falling now. Okay, so Nishkam Karma Yoga is renouncing the fruits of one's labor. Then comes the Gyan Yoga. Gyan Yoga means respectable and knowledge about the Brahman and the austerity. Brahman, who is the Brahman, who is the supreme. Now the Nishkam Karma Yoga person is doing, he will one step above is the Gyan Yoga. The person will see, okay, Nishkam Karma Yoga we are doing, but we are not this body, we are soul. Now the person is understanding that we are not this body, we are soul. And soul is surrendered to some super soul. And who is that super soul? Let's try to find out. Okay, so person is looking for the supreme here. So expectable knowledge about Brahman and austerity, that is called Gyan Yoga. And there is Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga, which we are discussing now, control of mind and senses by 8-fold path, plus meditation of the super soul or Paramatma in the heart. So we are here, Ashtanga Yoga, 8-fold path we are following, and we are meditating on the Paramatma form which is there in the heart. Final is the Bhakti Yoga. We are loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Okay, loving devotional service. So these yoga system we have already read. One more thing I'll highlight in this slide. I already highlighted, if you notice or not. The first here, the Gyan Yoga, the Brahman comes here. The Ashtanga Yoga, Paramatma is there, and Bhagavan in the Bhakti form. You see, the 3 phases of God realization is there in this slide. Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Okay, so we have finished it. Just 1 second.
Okay. So if you see how nicely the yoga system connecting with the 3 phases of realization of Lord, then the Karma Kanda, Gyan Kanda, everyone is very clear in this slide. And after reading all the yoga, the Nishkam Karma Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga is we are yet to discuss. But all these yoga system, after learning all this system, it is very easy to understand. Okay. So this is the yoga ladder, and Bhakti Yoga is the final yoga where we can meet the Lord, the personal form of Lord, the Bhagwan. And that is called the elevator part. And these are called the step ladder. Okay. Steps. So one is called elevator, the Bhakti Yoga, and few are the stairs. We have discussed all those. Okay. So now, after discussing all the yoga system, the 8-fold difficult things to Arjuna. Okay. Please tell Nishkam Karma Yoga again. We'll discuss in the last of today's class. Okay. Basically, Nishkam Karma Yoga means doing the work and renouncing the fruit. Okay. Like people are they're working and they're renouncing. Okay. They are not taking the fruits. Okay. We are working, but we are not taking the result of the fruits. Okay. That is called Nishkam Karma Yoga. Are you going to give this yoga system a try, Arjuna? So this 8-fold yoga system, Krishna told to Arjuna. And after he's asking, are you going to give this yoga system a try, Arjuna? So Arjuna said, 6.33, O Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and unendurable to me, for the mind is restless and unsteady. Impractical and unendurable. It is very difficult, Krishna. And it is for me. Maybe it may be easy for other person. Maybe it may be easy for other yoga, but it is very difficult for me. I won't be able to do. Impractical and unendurable to me. Because why? Because mind is restless and unsteady. Our mind, same position. Our mind is restless, unsteady. Okay. Some people may say, no, Arjuna was not able to do. We will be able to do. Okay. So for that, let's compare us and Arjuna. So Arjuna was a Maharathi. Maharathi means he can fight 10,000 soldiers at one go. He can kill 10,000 soldiers at one go and come as a winner. Okay. He was a Maharathi. He was the greatest fighter at that time. Very great, not the great, very great fighter of that time. Okay. Once there was a fight between Arjuna and Lord Shiva wanted to test him. Lord Shiva wanted to test him and he was fighting with Arjuna and no one came winner. Both were equal. That is the position of Arjuna, such a great fighter. He can control the wind through his arrows. Through wind he can control. Controlling the wind is very difficult. Okay. We cannot control the wind, but Arjuna could control the wind. Okay. And he is saying, mind is restless and unsteady and I cannot control the mind. That's why this yoga system is impractical and unendurable to me. Okay. Where we are falling. Okay. He was the greatest devotee of Lord. He was the friend of the Lord. Friend of the Lord. You see the position where his position is. He is the friend of the Lord. He is the greatest devotee of the Lord. Lord personally is giving the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to him. What is the position? What a high position he was having, and what is the position of ours? If he cannot control the mind, how can we control the mind? So that is the difference. Arjuna is saying it is endurable to me, but it is also endurable to us also. Okay. It may be possible some other people, like you see the example of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj was doing the Ashtanga Yoga Paddhati and he was perfect. He perfected his life through that Ashtanga Yoga in Satya Yoga. Okay. So that is the thing. It was meant for Satya Yoga, but Arjuna is not able to do and we are also not able to do. Okay. So no way it is impossible. Arjuna is saying very nicely the position of our mind. Okay. How? Let's see in this sloka 6.34. Arjuna is saying very nicely, Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna. Chanchal. The mind is very chanchal, very restless, turbulent. Okay. Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna. Mana means mind. Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna. Pramati balvad dridham. Tashyaham nigraham manne vayur evashu duskaram. Even controlling of the wind is less difficult than controlling the mind. Okay, so he's saying the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. Arjuna is saying, oh Krishna, and to subdue it, I think is more difficult than controlling the wind. That is the position of Arjuna. Okay, controlling the mind is very difficult. Okay, he can control the wind, but he cannot control the mind. Okay, so that is the position of Arjuna. He's saying, no, I'm not able to, I won't be able to do. Okay. So we have seen this example earlier only. So this body is compared to a chariot, and the senses are compared to the horses. Okay, sight, smell, hearing, touch, and taste. 5 senses: eye, ear, nose, eye, nose, ear, skin, and tongue. So these are the horses or the senses, and these are the reins or the rassis, which are like mind. So mind is controlling the horses or the senses, and driver is the intelligence. Intelligence is controlling the mind, and mind is controlling the senses, and the soul is the person who is sitting in the chariot. Okay, so like that. So if the mind is not controlling the horses can take the chariot anywhere. Okay, anywhere. So mind should be in the control. Intelligence should be in the control, or better, soul should be in the control. Okay. So what is the formula to control the mind, Krishna? Mind, Krishna. So already we have seen the story of the jinn, how the jinn was controlled. Okay. So what is the formula to control the mind, Krishna? So what is the formula? So Arjuna is wondering now, thinking now. So Krishna is giving the formula to control the mind, how we can control the mind. Okay. Shri Bhagwan Vacha Asamsayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhyashena tu Kanteya Vairagyena cha Grihyate. 2 things are there. Abhyas, Vairagya. Abhyas, suitable practice. Like the jinn was engaged in the circumambulation of the wood. Okay. So Abhyasena. By Abhyas we can control. And Vairagya. Vairagya means detachment. Through detachment and suitable practice, we can control the mind. Okay, so you have already seen the suitable practice of this age, Kali Yuga. What is the suitable practice? Let's see this, and then we'll discuss. Lord Shri Krishna said, "O mighty armed son of Kunti, this is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind." Oh, there is no doubt. Asamsayam. There is no sansaya. There is no doubt that it is very difficult to curb the mind. Undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and detachment. 2 things. Detachment, suitable practice. What is the suitable practice, in this Kali Yuga? What is the suitable practice? Kali Yuga suitable practice. Already we are getting the answer. Every person is answering correctly. Okay. Kali Yuga Dharma. That is the Dharma of Kali Yuga, to chant on the holy name. Chanting the holy name is the Kali Yuga Dharma. Okay. When we chant, we associate with the Lord. Okay. So that is the chanting is the suitable practice, and detachment, detaching ourselves. Okay. So that is the 2 practices. How to get detached? Many persons may ask the question, how to get detached from this material world? How to get detached? Okay, the answer will come in 15th chapter, where Krishna discussed the detachment process very nicely. Okay, so we'll discuss in 15th chapter the detachment part, but the answer is how we can control the mind through suitable practice and detachment. Okay, what is the meaning of practicing? Practice means what we know, regularly revise that. Okay, regularly revise that, like chanting process. Regularly do the chanting, same thing again and again, and engage the mind in that thing. Engage the mind in one thing. Otherwise, mind is very destructive. Okay, 2 things are there: practice and detachment. 9 processes are there of bhakti. 9 processes of devotion are there. You can do any one. Okay, hearing already you are doing. Detachment, vairagya. So detach the mind from the activity not devoted to Lord. So 2 types of activities are there. One activity which is devoted to Lord, one activity where there is no Lord. Okay, so detach your activity where there is no Lord. Okay, so that is the thing of detachment. What is the process of detachment? Krishna described very nicely. 1 line and everything is clear like that. So the slokas of Bhagavad Gita, you will see 1 line clarify many things. Okay, So it will be very nice. So we'll learn in chapter number 15 how to become detached. So only way to control the mind is to neglect the dictation of mind and always chant holy name of the Lord. Chant Hare Krishna. Okay, take the Lord's name. And this is the only way to neglect the dictation of the mind. Okay. Okay. So we are coming to the third part, success or failure. So we have seen the Ashtanga Yoga is very difficult. So if a person start doing Ashtanga Yoga, it will take many life to perfect this yoga system. Okay, because it is very difficult. Ashtanga Yoga is very difficult in Kali Yuga. So if a person start doing Ashtanga Yoga, it will take many life to perfect this yoga system. So if a person starts doing Ashtanga Yoga and he fails, what happens to that person? So we are going to discuss in the third part, success or failure. So Arjuna is asking again a question, very important question which comes to our mind. Okay, so one Mataji has already asked, what is the minimum duration of meditation we should do? So meditation, samadhi, we should attain the samadhi. We can attain the samadhi in 1 minute also. We can attain the samadhi in thousands of life also. Depends on us how much dedicated we are, how much our mind is controlled, and how much we are following the process. Okay, so that is the thing. So Arjuna is asking, what is the destination of someone who still tries Ashtanga Yoga? Ashtanga Yoga, what is the destination? His mind is not controlled, and it is very difficult for Arjuna to control the mind. He's asking, what if I start trying Ashtanga Yoga, and if I fail, then what will happen to us? So Krishna explained the destination of someone who fails in achieving success in yoga. He tries to do Ashtanga Yoga and he fails. What will happen to that person? So two options are there. One is called first option and second option. So first option, heavenly planet, short practice. So if a person fails after short practice, he will go to heavenly planet. Second option, person will be born in a family of devotee if long practice. Okay, so two options are there. Let's try to understand more deeply what happens to a person who is a short practitioner and long practitioner. So for short practitioner, this is the sloka 6.41. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entity, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. So unsuccessful yogi, a person who is unsuccessful after short practice, maybe 25% he attained the perfection and then he died or he failed. What will happen? So what will happen? He will go to the higher planet of the pious living entity. Means he will go to Swargaloka, higher planets. And then what will happen? Then he will again come back because you have accumulated something good karma, and to enjoy that good karma, you are going to higher planets. After the good karma is finished, you will come back to again. So after many years of enjoyment on the planets of pious living entity, the person is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. He will born in a family of righteous people. Okay, they will be very pious people. They won't be doing any sinful act, more or less more pious people only, less sinful people. So he will be born after many years of enjoyment in the higher planet or the pious planet or the Swargaloka. He will come back again and he will take birth in the righteous people family or a family of rich aristocracy, a family where his father and mother is very rich. Okay, so that he don't have to do too much endeavor for the roti, kapda, and makan, or the basic necessity of life, and he can focus in the sadhana or the devotion or in yoga. Okay, so after short practice, maybe 25% he has done in fall, then he will go to higher plant. He will come back again. He will take birth in the family of righteous people or rich aristocratic family. So that is the destination. If fails after short practice, what if he fails after long practice? Okay, so or the second sloka, next sloka, or if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, if he does a long practice, then he fails. What happens? He takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly such a birth is rare in this world. So he will take birth in a family of devotee. Devotion, a person who are already in devotion. So if they are in devotion, they are already dedicated to Lord. And a person who, when a person is born, a success, maybe 80% he is success, 90% he has some part is left. So how he will be attaining that? He will take birth among the family of devotee only. So from the birth only, he is doing the devotional service. He is engaged in a devotional service. Okay, so that is the thing. So there is no loss, no diminution in this path. Krishna already told there is no loss. Neha vikarmana sosti. Okay, there is no loss, there is no diminution in the path of devotion or the yoga. Okay, so a person does yoga is like this. Okay. So last part, the yogi. So okay, karma yoga Krishna described, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, every three yoga Krishna described. What is the best yoga? So who is the greatest yogi? So in this sloka, Krishna describes who is the greatest yogi. Yogi nam api sarvesham madgatinantar atmanaha shraddhavan bhajte yo mam same yukta tamo mataha. What is the tamo mataha? What is the mata of Krishna? So I'll read the description. You will tell me which description, which yoga description it is. So of all the yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Okay. Can you tell me which yoga is described here? So after describing all the yoga system, Krishna is telling which yoga is best. Can you tell me? Can you help me out which yoga is best? Krishna is telling in this sloka. Yes. Bhakti yoga. Loving devotional service, transcendental loving devotional service, bhajte. Okay. So transcendental loving devotional service. So after describing all the yoga, Krishna is telling Bhakti yoga is best. Okay. So you see the beauty, how Bhagavad Gita is spoken. This is the last sloka of 6th chapter. Okay. And from this sloka, the first part of the first section, that is the Karma Yoga section is over. Okay, the first 6 chapter are Karma Yoga and middle 6 chapter are Bhakti Yoga. So Krishna tells in this sloka that Bhakti Yoga is best. And after the seventh the chapter, Krishna starts describing the Bhakti Yoga. Okay. So this is the last sloka of the 6th chapter. Krishna is telling Bhakti Yoga is best. And from next chapter, Krishna starts exploring the Bhakti Yoga. Okay. And when Bhakti Yoga starts, very nice to hear. Very nice. Okay. How Krishna describes his position, all will learn. Okay. So that is the thing. Karma Yoga is there, Jnana Yoga is there, Dhyana Yoga is there, and Bhakti Yoga is there. Which one is best? Bhakti Yoga is best. This is what Krishna is saying, where person surrenders the soul, his soul only directly to Krishna's service, and he is engaged in loving devotional service of the Lord. Okay, that is called Bhakti Yoga. We are going to discuss the Bhakti Yoga from tomorrow. Very nice. So now, so these are all the things which we have seen. Now, so which is the best yoga system that you want to accept? The ultimate is the Bhakti Yoga. Okay, so let's discuss something about that. Let's discuss something about the chanting process. This is one of the Sikshashtakam, the first sloka of Sikshashtakam, which is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Okay, so let's see what is written in this sloka. Very nice sloka, very deep meanings are there. 8 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given only 8 sloka, and every sloka is having very deep meaning. Okay, so we'll take first sloka and we'll try to understand this first sloka in a very short way. Okay, so let's see. Cheto darpan marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam Shreyah kairav chandrika vitaranam vidyavad jivanam Anandam buddhi vardhanam pratipadam purna amrit ashwadanam Sarvatma sanapanam param vijate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. It is the glorification of Shri Krishna Sankirtan. What is the meaning of Sankirtan? There is 2 words are there. One is called Japa, one is called Sankirtan. Japa means when you are doing the chanting and you are speaking and you are listening. Okay. When you are speaking and listening, that is called japa. And Sankirtan, the widened form of the japa, where everyone is listening. So you are doing the Sankirtan, everyone is listening to the Sankirtan, the holy name, and they are getting benefited. That is called Sankirtan, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So what is the benefit? Cheto darpan marjanam. Cheto, chetana means the mind. Okay. Darpan, the mind is like a darpan or the mirror. Marjanam, clear. It was marjanam means clarification, clearing the mind. Okay. So our mind is having dust. Our mind is not pure. Our mind or our heart is not pure. Our heart is contaminated, fully contaminated. Our heart is not pure. We are fully contaminated. Think about what desires we have since morning till now. Do we have desires for the Lord? No. So many material desires we have, and our mind is fully contaminated with the material infections. Fully contaminated. We are fully contaminated with material desires, material thinkings. We are not thinking anytime about the Lord. Okay. And that material contamination, that the dirtiness, the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, what it will do? Cheto darpan marjanam. It will clear. It is clear. Okay. So the glory of Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditioned life. We are traveling through many body, life after life. We are taking many body, and our heart is contaminated with material dust, material desire. We are not living a pure life. We are living a fully material life, contaminated life. And how to clarify this life, how to live a pure life, how to purify our existence. Sri Krishna Sankirtan is clarifying. Okay, so that is the thing. The name, the Lord's name, the Sankirtan will clarify the dust accumulated in our mind. Bhav Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. Bhav means this Bhautik Jagat or the material world. Mahadavagni, this Bhautik Jagat is compared to Mahadavagni. Davagni means Agni, a Mahadavagni, a very big fire. This material world is like a big fire. Okay, which is there everywhere, inside us, outside us, everywhere you see the material fire. It is like a big fire. To extinguish is very difficult, but this Sankirtan movement or the Lord's name or the chanting, what it will do? Nirvapanam. It will extinguish the Bhav Mahadavagni. Mahadavagni, it is called Mahadavagni, not a small fire. It is a very big fire, difficult to control. But this Lord's name, the chanting process, the Sankirtan movement will extinguish the fire of the material life, conditioned life. Shreyah Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam. Shreyah Kairava Chandrika. Okay, this is it is called that in the Kali Yuga, there is only one thing which is very good. Everything in this Kali Yuga is very bad. This Kali Yuga is called age of Kala. People will fight just by provocation. If you provoke any person, they will fight. Okay, that is called age of Kali. Everything is bad. The time is bad. The people will bad mind. Everything will be bad in this Kali Yuga. But there is one thing that is very good, and that is called the Sankirtan movement. And just by following Sankirtan movement or the taking the Lord's name, one can get delivered from this conditioned life. This is called prime benediction for humanity. Prime benediction for humanity. It is the best benediction for the humanity in this age, Sankirtan movement. Okay, or the Lord's name. Okay. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. So many transcendental knowledge is there. So many Vedas are there. So many Puranas there. Bhagavad Gita there. Bhagavatam there. So many Upanishads are there. Purana Upanishads. So many. So everything is there. Okay. But what is the life in everything? What is the life of all the thing? What is the main thing of all the thing? This is called, it is the life of all the transcendental knowledge. Whatever transcendental knowledge is there, whatever Shastra knowledge is there, whatever knowledge is there, the spiritual knowledge is there, the main life of that is the name, the Lord's name. That we have to take the Lord's name. We have to take shelter of the Lord's name. That is called, it is the life of all the transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss. We are hankering for the bliss. We are hankering for the happiness from the very, very starting. Every life we are hankering for the happiness, but we are not getting the happiness. How we can get the happiness is there. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. The nectar of transcendental pleasure, the nectar of transcendental bliss, we can taste when we start chanting. Okay, so that is the thing. That is the importance of the chanting process. And very nicely, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has written one sloka and describes very nicely what is the importance of Sankirtan movement or the chanting process. Okay, so that is that's why it is called the Yug Dharma of Kali Yuga, to chant. Only one process which can deliver a person from this material existence is chanting the holy name. Okay, very important. So you see, Srimad Bhagavatam 7.9.39 is written, in this age, the process of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra is the only method by which to clean the sinful mind. Mind is very sinful, very contaminated, fully materially contaminated. But how we can clean, how we can purify ourselves, how we can live a pure life. And you see, there is, if a person is not pure, if there is no purity in the person, he cannot be happy. For happiness doesn't come from outside. Okay, the happiness, that person only can taste the happiness. That person can only have the happiness which is pure from inside. A person who is purified, that can only taste the happiness. The person who is not pure, he cannot taste the happiness. He cannot be happy. Happiness comes when a person is pure. So first thing is purified life. First thing is we should live a pure life. Pure life. Okay. And how to live a pure life? How to clean the dirt which is accumulated, material dirt? Chanting. Okay. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is only method by which to clean the sinful mind. When the mind is completely clean of all the sinful reaction, one can then understand his duty in the human form of life. This human form of life is very, very important. We learn in 8th chapter, or all the chapters, only the chapters of the later chapters. We learn this human form of life is very important. Other form of life, there is no intelligence. Why this body is there? Why we are suffering in this material world? Why this material world is being created? And why we are here? What is our role of this life? How we can perfect our life? These things can only be, we can only think in this form of life where intelligence is developed. Okay. And when it is materially contaminated with sinful, when our mind is fully sinful, we cannot think. So the first thing for anything is live a pure life. Live a pure life. And how to live a pure life, we'll discuss the later chapters, how to live a pure life. But one of the most important component of that is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And the only method we can clean, if you follow this method only, it can clean the mind. Okay, so that is the thing. Take shelter of Lord's name. So that is the thing. Srimad Bhagavatam, it is coming from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. One more important sloka from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay. Kali Kale Nam Rupa Krishna Avatar. Kali Kal, in the age of Kali, Nam Rupa Krishna Avatar. Krishna will take avatar in the form of name. So Krishna is taking avatar. Krishna is taking incarnation. Krishna is coming in Kali Yuga in the form of name. Okay. So Krishna descends in this Kali Yuga in the form of his holy name, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Okay. Krishna is coming in the form of name. Are we able to perceive that? Krishna, when we say Krishna, so Krishna is there in front of us. Are we able to perceive that? No. Why? That dust, the material dust, the contamination. We are not you, I. It is for me. Whatever I am discussing, it is for me, because I am so much contaminated. Okay. So we are not able to perceive that Krishna is there in front of us when we take Krishna's name. Why? Because of the contamination. We are so much contaminated that Krishna is there in front of us in the form of name, and we are not able to perceive. Who will be able to perceive? The person who is self-realized, the person. You will see the achar, the acharya, they will be taking Lord's name every time, every day, and they will be feeling the bliss. How? Because they are self-realized, because they understand that Krishna is there in the form of name, and they can realize those things. We are not able to realize due to our material contamination. Okay. So the basic necessity of our life is we should purify our desires. Okay. We should purify our desires. Okay. So that is the thing. When we chant the holy name, we are coming in contact with the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, because Krishna is non-different from his name. This is written in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna and his name is same. Okay. That is the thing. So when when we include Krishna in anything, that thing becomes transcendental. And Krishna's name is more potent. It is that Krishna's name is more potent than Krishna himself. And we are not able to perceive that. We are not able to perceive that. Okay. So that is the thing. That is the greatest misfortune you can say to have, that we are not able to perceive that thing. Okay. Next thing, Srimad Bhagavatam 12.3.51. My dear king, although Kali Yuga is ocean of fault, everything is false here, everything is fault here, there is still one good quality about this age. What is that good quality? Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. Everything is bad in this Kali Yuga. People are not faithful. Even friends will be fighting. Even father and the son will be fighting. Father and mother will be fighting. Everyone will be fighting. Just one provocation. It is called age of Kalaha, the fighting, age of fighting. Everything is bad about this age. Okay, but so much contamination will be there in this age. But there is one thing. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can become free from the material desires. I already told you. Satyuga, there were less contamination. People were more pure. Treta Yuga, little bit more impure. Dwapar Yuga, little bit more impure. Kali Yuga, most impure. People are most impure. For the impurity to clarify, there must be something powerful. And that powerful thing is the most powerful thing is the name of the Lord. That power is there in the name. Okay. That's why it is called the name's Lord is more powerful than the Lord himself. Okay. Lord is not different from his name. You see how acharyas, what is the nature of the acharya is described in this. How can just one sound give you so much happiness? Just one sound, Krishna can give happiness? Yes or no? So let's see. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra isn't an ordinary sound. Krishna is present in his name, and because Krishna is the reservoir of all the spiritual pleasure, his name is also full of pleasure. Krishna is full of pleasure. So Krishna and Krishna's name are non-different. So Krishna is full of pleasure, name is also full of pleasure. That's why a great spiritual master once said, what he said, you see, you listen to this very carefully. He wanted millions of ears to hear Krishna's name and millions of tongue to chant them. Okay, that is called the realization. He has realized that Krishna is there in the name. He says, I want millions of ears just to chant the Lord's name, and millions of tongue and millions of ears and millions of tongue to chant and hear the Lord's name. That is the nectar he is perceiving. He is able to perceive. We are unfortunate. You are able to perceive that how unfortunate we are, that we are so much materially contaminated, that so much happiness is there in front of us, but we are not able to perceive that. Okay. So that is the thing. That is the thing we are having. Okay. So the thing is, we should be purifying our desires. Okay. So let's see the do's of chanting and don'ts of the chanting, what we should do, what we should not do. So do's of chanting, while chanting, what we should do. Chant the Panchatattva mantra before starting of the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay. Panchatattva Mahamantra means Panchatattva, 5 tattva. So who are the 5 tattva? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his 4 associates. So we remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his 4 associates before starting of the chanting. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare is the mantra, Mahamantra. Fully name, all 16 are the name. But before starting, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself has given the mantra. So we remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first. Okay, then we chant Mahamantra. So Panchatattva mantra, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So Panchatattva mantra will chant once, then we'll chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 108 times. So I have my chanting beads, so I'll tell you. Okay. So this is my chanting bag and this is my chanting beads. Okay. So I'll tell you. So this will be like 108 beads will be there, and one will be the central bead or 109th bead. Okay. So we'll be chanting like this. So we won't use the index finger, and other finger we'll be using. So first the 109th bead or the central bead, or it is called also Krishna bead. Other beads are called Gopi beads, and one central bead, 109th bead is called Krishna beads. So in Krishna bead, we'll be doing the Panchatattva Mahamantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Then we'll move one And then we'll do Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then we'll move Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We'll move again Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In this way, we'll complete 108 times. Okay, so this will be completing one round of Mahamantra. So this way we'll do. Okay, so first we'll chant Panchatattva mantra and then we'll chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Next, chant loudly, loud enough to hear the mantra. Many people may ask that I am chanting on the man. No sound. Okay, only man. Mana is very powerful. Where he is wandering, we don't know. Where he is wandering, maybe here, maybe other place. Where? Very contaminated mind. Anywhere it can go. So better to chant little bit loudly so that we can hear, so that our tongue as well as our ears are engaged at least, and it will draw the mind later also. Okay. So that thing is, we should chant little bit loudly so that we can hear our chanting. Okay. So that is the way. So chant audibly, little bit loudly so that you can loud enough to hear the mantra. Okay, so that is the one way. Pronounce each name distinctly. Finish. It should not be like that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Pronounce each name distinctly. Okay. Chant with respect, devotion, and concentration. When we are chanting, we are already taking the Lord's name, so we are associating with the Lord. So chant with respect, with devotion, with concentration. Concentrate on the name, devotion, with devotion. That we are, this is my prayers to Lord. Okay, with respect, we are associating with the Lord's name, and Lord's name is not different from the Lord. Okay, so those for the chanting. Chant with respect, devotion, and concentration. You can chant in any place, sitting or walking, facing any direction. So Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is no restriction of place. You can sit at any place and you can chant. You can walk and you can chant. You can face any direction, you can chant. Okay, so anywhere you can chant. You can chant at any time, morning, evening, night. However, it is recommended to chant during the early morning hours, that is Brahma Muhurta. Okay, 2 pahar before the sunrise, that is called to I think around 4:30, or every place it will be different. So around that time, because sunrise there is Brahma Muhurta, we should wake up and we should chant like that. Okay, at any time, but chanting in the morning is most that is best. You can chant either before or after taking bath. In the morning, many people, they won't be taking bath, so they may be contaminated in the night. So if the contamination, you think you are contaminated, you take bath, then you chant. No, then you can chant directly. Okay. It is recommended to chant by keeping count. So there can be a bag and the counter. Okay, or there can be beads, a bead and the bag, or there can be counter. Okay, or if you don't have the bead, bag, anything, so you can chant in the hand also. So you calculate like 108 times 12 into 9 is 108. So you calculate that and you chant if you don't have the mala. But best is to keep the mala with you so that you can chant, because this is chanting is not a one-day process. It is the lifetime process. We have to follow it lifetime practice. Okay, so better to have a bag and better to have a bead so that you can chant. Okay, I already shown you last time the Bhagavad Gita and chanting bead and a bag, the link. Okay, so you can order, you can get, and you can start reading Bhagavad Gita. You can start chanting. Both you can do, preferably on the Tulsi Mala. But in the starting point, when we are starting the chanting, we don't use the Tulsi Mala. We'll use the Neem Mala. Okay. Because some rules and regulations are there for using Tulsi Mala. So better to use Neem Mala first. Don'ts for chanting. What are the don'ts? What we should not do? One should not chant only a portion of the Mahamantra. This Mahamantra is very long. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It is taking so much long time. So I need to do 108 times. So what I will do? I will chant Hare Krishna, only that. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. In 2 minutes only finished. Okay, like that. People may think like that. But the thing is, we should not chant only a portion of Mahamantra. We should be fully chanting the full Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay. One should not chant while reading a book or newspaper or watching TV. with respect and devotion we should chant. Okay, that we are connecting with the Lord. Okay, that is the thing. So while reading the book, while reading the newspaper, watching TV, you should avoid it. Focus on the chanting. Benefits of the chanting, you see, every person engaged in the chanting, happy, happy, happy. That is the happiness is there. Okay. Freedom from sin, reactions of sin. Okay. Krishna says the transcendental, when Krishna take care of the devotees, okay, he remove all the sinful reaction. Okay? So that is the thing. So freedom from sinful reaction. Sankirtan, you see the Sankirtan, everyone, they are doing the Sankirtan on the open, so that even the dogs, cats, whatever animals are there, other living entity, whoever is listening, they will be benefited just by hearing the Lord's name. So that is the focus of Sankirtan movement, coming out and loudly chanting so that everyone will hear, see the face, happy, 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 happy. Okay. So chant and be happy. Okay. Transcendental bliss, for which we are hankering for life and life, life and life, life after life, that we can taste through the chanting process. So chant and be happy. Okay. Already many people are chanting and they're happy. Okay. So that is the thing. So this finishes our chapter. Let's summarize the chapter. First, we have seen the mind as friend or enemy. So mind can be friend or mind can be enemy, just like a jinn. Okay. If you are engaging your mind correctly, mind is your greatest friend. If you are not engaging the mind, then mind is the greatest enemy. If mind under the control of intelligence, greatest friend. If mind is under the control of senses, greatest enemy. In Ashtanga Yoga, 8 limbs of yoga we have seen: Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dhyan, Dharana, Samadhi. So 8 limbs we have seen. Success or failure, 2 things. If he fails after short practice, he will go to higher planet, he will enjoy there, then he will come back again and he will take birth among the family of transcendentalists, not the rich aristocratic family or the pious people. Okay. So that is after short practice. If after long practice it fails, he will take birth directly among the family of transcendentalists or devotee, and he can start the devotional service from there. Success or failure. Last part, yogi. Who is the best of yogi? The person who is engaged in loving devotional service is the best of the yogi. That is Bhakti Yoga is best. So this is the end of the today's 6th chapter. From 7th chapter, Bhakti Yoga will start. New the Bhakti Yoga is completely different chapters. Okay, we'll see when we hear the chapter how nicely Krishna is describing, and what is the nectar hidden in that. We'll hear and we'll try to understand that. Okay. So from tomorrow we'll be engaged. We'll be learning about the Bhakti Yoga. So I'm unmuting every person. Once stand with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Okay. So with this, we end. One question we already have. Prabhuji, why can't we use our index finger? How does this affect the mantra? So Acharya has said we should not use. Okay, that's why. The thing is, we should be using the other fingers. Other fingers are there, not index finger. Okay, so that is the thing. Acharya, it is like it is used for pointing. Okay, pointing to others. That's why it is not used like that. It is written somewhere. So why can't we use index finger? How does it affect the mantras? So we don't use. Okay, like one more. H.G. Gupta. Prabhuji, after ending the 108 beats and Mahamantra, do we have to say any other mantra at the end? How should we end the 108 beats? So after ending, first is again the Krishna beat will come. Then again we'll chant the Panchatattva mantra, and again we'll start the Mahamantra. Okay, like that. So 108 is ending, then we'll chant the Panchatattva mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinda. Then again we'll start Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay. Why chanting bag is required? Because we need to, because the bags are very clean. Because the beads should be very clean. It should not touch the ground. Okay, it should not be touching. It is very we should be keeping the beads away from the touch of the ground, because ground sometimes dirty, sometimes we are eating and then grounds like that. Okay, sometimes in the bed we are sitting. Okay, and then we should not touch the beads in those things. That's why it should be kept in the bag and we should chant. Okay, any other questions you have? Somnath Prabhuji is asking Srimad Bhagavad Puran and Brahma Vaivata Puran, are these two books same? Does these two books, what do these books teach? Brahma Vaivarta Puran, I don't know about this Puran. Srimad Bhagavad Puran is the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, Srimad Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Lord. So when we read Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we understand the position of the Lord. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam is the description of the glories of the Lord and the devotees of the Lord. Lord's devotee are always connected with the Lord. So whatever activity devotee does, they are connected with the Lord. So those activities are described in Srimad Bhagavatam, and the glories of the Lord are described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And once a person starts reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, he cannot return. He will find so much bliss in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is said to install Krishna in our heart. Once we start reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna will be installed in our heart. That is the potency of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So that is the thing. So that is the Srimad Bhagavatam, glorification of Lord as well as his devotees. Okay. And Brahma Vaivarta Puran, I have not read or heard. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam I'm reading. So one more thing we have. Prabhuji, why can't we chant with left hand? Actually, we chant with right hand only. Actual meaning, actual reason I don't know, but actually we chant. Many senior disciples say that we should not chant with the left hand. I do not know the reason, Prabhuji. Okay, why cannot we chant with left hand? But we chant with right hand only. Is killing insect a sinful act? So thing is, when living through the life, going through the life, there will be many insects will be there, which will be killing knowingly or unknowingly. Prabhupada used to say that first thing is we should avoid killing. There are many ways we can avoid. Okay, like cockroaches are there in the home. Natural predator for the cockroaches are the lizards. Okay, lizards are there. They are natural predators, so they will come and they will eat the cockroaches. So if they are insect, there will be killers also. Okay, the predators also. So natural are there. So they will be keeping everything in control. Okay, and many things are there we can do and avoid. There is book also, and some senior disciple has written one book also, that how to avoid these insects. Okay, like that. So one thing is like that. So most of the time we should avoid killing of the insect. Okay, how means if there is necessity only, then we should only kill. Okay, if there is so much necessity that we should kill. Okay, like mosquitoes are there, we can use mosquito nets. Odomos is there, we can apply, and there's a natural repellent of mosquitoes. Okay, so there are many ways are there to avoid the insects killing, and we should, as much as possible, we should avoid killing. Okay, if it is very necessary, then only we should kill. That is the thing. Unknowingly, many insects are killed. We cannot means do anything for that. But if you're knowingly killing, we should avoid as much as possible. So Preeti Smita Swine Mataji is asking, how can we complete the whole Gita deeply? Read with us. Okay, complete in the second level we'll read once. Okay, then fourth level again we'll read once. Okay, the third level, fourth level. So many levels are there. So be with us if you want to read. If you want to read deeply Bhagavad Gita, be with us. We'll be guiding you. Okay. So level 1 is there, level 2 is there, level 3 is there. I'm very happy that in the 6th chapter only you want to read Bhagavad Gita in deeply. Okay, so I'm very happy. So level 2 is there for you, Mataji. After 18 days over, I will tell you about level 2. You can join level 2. Dolan, like it is not right to kill others animal. Yes, it is not like to kill others animal. What is the ultimate goal of practicing yoga and meditation? Ultimate goal of yoga and meditation. Yoga means, yoga name is only there. Yoga means to connect with the Supreme, completely connection with the Supreme, person who is linked with the Supreme. Okay. So that is the ultimate goal of practicing yoga or meditation. Ultimate goal of everything is Krishna. We should reach Krishna. Okay. So that is the thing. We should be reaching Krishna. So that is the ultimate goal of yoga and meditation, or any Veda or any Shastra or Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. The ultimate thing is Krishna. We are soul, Krishna is super soul, and our relationship with the Krishna is Sarvaita relationship. Okay. We should develop love for Krishna. Clean your heart to develop love for Krishna. Okay. Clean, live a pure life to develop love of Krishna. Chanting, everything will be leading to same thing, love of Krishna. We should develop love of Krishna. Okay. Every yoga system gradually to lead to bhakti. And bhakti, what is the bhakti? What is the meaning of bhakti? Loving devotional service. Okay, loving devotional service. So everything ends in Krishna. Okay. Prabhuji, can we control our anger? Yes, we can control. When we become humble, when we become tolerant and humble, we can control the anger. How to become tolerant and humble? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the Shikshashtakam only. Okay, that we should become, we can become humbler than a grass and tolerant than a tree if we are taking association of the Lord. It's a chanting. Okay, when we are chanting, we can become humbler than the grass and the tolerant, more tolerant than the tree. And when these things are developed, then we can control the anger. Okay, so that is the thing. So everything, the basic thing is the life should be pure. Okay, life should be pure. Without purity, you cannot control the anger. Without purity, we cannot live a happy life. Without purity, we cannot perceive the happiness. And that purity will come when we connect with the Supreme. Okay, taking Lord's name. Suryakant Patnayak Prabhuji, how can the practice of yoga and meditation help in controlling the mind and achieve inner peace? I already told you. Okay, when we connect with the Lord, okay, then we develop the purity. Okay, that is the purification process. Okay, there are many things are there. A, B, C, D, all are in that direction only. Okay, A for association. I already told you, when you are associating a devotee, you will become like a devotee. Devotee lives a pure life. When we associate with devotee, we'll see how the devotee lives. The personal examples will be there in front of us. Okay, so that is the thing. Association is very big. Association has very big impact. It is said, if you find a right association, 90% of your work is done. That much powerful is association. Okay, so that is why it is very important to associate with the devotee who are pure devotee. Associate with those devotees. A, association. B, Bhagavad Gita, reading. When we are reading Lord's word in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord is speaking to Arjuna. Lord is speaking actually to us through Arjuna. And when we read those things, then we actually associate with the Lord. Prabhupada has given purport. So Prabhupada, the thought process is there in the Bhagavad Gita. When we read, we actually associate with Prabhupada also. The pure devotees of Lord, we are associating. With Lord's name, we are associating. Then we are chanting. Then we are associating with the Lord's name. All these things. And D part is still left. The diet is very powerful. We are eating 3-4 times daily. Okay. And everything which eat, it changes our consciousness. Diet doesn't change only the outer thing, or the only we are healthy like that. It is not only the thing. Diet changes the inner consciousness also. Diet changes the mind. Diet will agitate. Diet will keep your mind peaceful. If you eat a chili, okay. If you eat a chili and you will think that no, my mind will be very peaceful. No, it is not going to be peaceful. Diet affects you. Everything which we eat is affecting us, and we are eating 3-4 times per day. So when we change the diet, that can be very helpful in purification of ourselves. Okay, so that part will be discussed in 17th chapter. Just the just a one line or few things I told you about diet, but diet is very powerful. That is the D part, diet. Okay, so ABCD is there, so you can practice and you can control the mind, inner peace. Okay, I hope your questions are answered. Any other question? We don't have time actually. Okay, so we are actually way ahead of time. 20 minutes we have already. So more than 8:30. Okay, so okay, no problem. You're asking very nice questions, so I'm very engaged. I'm very happy to answer. Okay, so we'll meet again. 7th chapter from tomorrow. The Bhakti Yoga chapter is starting. Okay, so let's start from tomorrow Bhakti Yoga, and let's see what is hidden in each. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow. We'll meet at from 7. We'll start the class. 6:30. We'll have Kirtan and all. So we come by 6:30, so that with Kirtan we'll start and the recitation of chapter will start, and then we can start with the chapter. Okay, 7th chapter, the Bhakti Yoga chapter. So thank you, Sri Vidya Mataji, Vaishnavi Mataji, and
Thank you, Prabhuji.
thank you, devotees, for attending.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, devotees.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, devotees.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhu bhavevacha pati